Tonight we have brand new lore from Duelists Advance, and we're going to be looking at the brand new theme called Art Magia for this whole entire set. It is 13 brand new cards, so let's get right into it. Now this is looking a lot like how the Albaz lore started, and first off we have Medius the Innocent. It is a dark fairy effect monster that's a level 4 with 1800 attack and defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn, and if this card is normal or special summoned, you can take one Imprisoned DD monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one monster from your hand or face of field into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Already off to a great start because it allows you to get any of your Imprisoned deities from your deck to your hand or onto the field, along with being able to shuffle a monster from your hand or field to the deck to recur this card for further fusion or exceed plays, or maybe a link play here or there. But overall, a really strong start for the center card of the actual series. So now let's get into the School of Magic. We're going to be taking a look at Art Magia Fainmert. She is a light warrior effect monster, level 7, 2400 attack, and 1500 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn, and if you control an Art Magia card, you could special summon this card from your hand, then you could draw one card. Very good off the start. Your opponent cannot target level 6 or lower Art Magia monsters you control with card effects, and during the main phase, if you control 3 or more monster types, quick effect, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. Also, their current attack becomes halved until the end of this turn. Kind of like a super forbidden droplet that you don't have to invest into discarding cards, but overall it's a really powerful monster for the deck because it allows you to summon itself out, protect your level 6 or lowers from being targeted, and gets you a free draw. So overall, this might be a 3 of or maybe a 2 of in the deck depending if it's searchable or not. So now after that we have the Art Magia Grafflar. It is a light dragon effect, level 5, 2100 attack, and 1500 defense, and you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control an Art Magia card, you could special summon this card from your hand, then you can set one Art Magia spell from your deck. The first time this card would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed, and you could target one spell or trap card your opponent controls to destroy it. This is a quick effect if you control 3 or more monster types. Really, There Could Be Only One is looking good for this deck because of how many different types you have. But being able to set any of your Art Magia spells from your deck is really good, and just being able to have a quick effect target a spell or trap card your opponent controls is very good, just as flat out destroy it. And let's get into the next main deck monster, being the actual Artmegia Litria. She's a light spellcaster effect, level 3, 400 attack and 1800 defense, and you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control an Art Magia card, you can special summon this card from your hand, then you can add one Art Magia card from your graveyard to your hand. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card, and during your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can special summon an Art Magia monster from your hand or graveyard, except a copy of Litria, then return this card on the field to the hand. So kind of like a big welcome labyrinth by summoning something from your hand or graveyard. Honestly, this is a really good card because it can let you dodge certain type of hand traps or certain type of target reactions that the game has currently going on. Overall, this is a really strong card, so I definitely think that this is going to be a 2 or 3 up because recycling your stuff in the graveyard is always great to have. And now finally we're going to be heading on to who? It is the last monster in the deck, being Imprisoned DD Beast of Art Magia. It's an Earth Illusion effect with 300 attack and 200 defense, being a level 1, and you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You cannot special summon from the extra deck except fusion monsters, probably while it's on the field. During the main phase, quick effect, you can fusion summon one Art Magia fusion monster or one Nerva, the Imprisoned Deity of Creation, from your extra deck by using monsters from your hand or field, including this card you control. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add one Art Magia spell or trap card from your deck to your hand with a different name from the cards in your graveyard. Being kind of a way to fusion summon into your Artmegia fusion monsters is really good, or going into Nerva, the Imprisoned Deity, is also really strong. And being kind of like a Sky Striker Ace Shizuku, for adding a spell or trap card from your deck with a different name from your graveyard is relatively strong because of what you can search off of this card overall. It's going to get better and better as time goes on, and honestly, this might be one of your best cards in your deck. So let's finally get into the fusion monsters. We have Art Magia, Toros, Light Fiend Fusion Effect, level 8, 2800 attack and 2500 defense. It takes Medius the Innocent and one Art Magia monster, and you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target one monster on the field, change its battle position. When your opponent activates a card or effect on the field while you control 3 or more monster types, quick effect, you can negate that activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Then, if this fusion summon card is destroyed, you can special summon one Medius the Innocent from your hand, deck, or banishment. Honestly, a really good card. Being an Omni Negate if you have 3 more types on the field is really, really unique, because we haven't had something like that before. And also, just summoning out a Medius from your hand, deck, or banishment is really great as well if it's destroyed, so you could have synergies with other type of decks that like to destroy your cards to gain advantage. So overall, definitely think that this is going to be one of your main fusions that you want to go into as much as possible. And now let's get into that previous mentioned fusion monster, being the lovely Nervia, the Imprisoned Deity of Creation. It is an Earth Illusion Fusion Effect monster, level 10, 3300 attack and defense, and it takes 3 Artmegia monsters, and it must be either fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck in defense position by attributing 3 monsters with different types. You can only special summon Nervia, the Imprisoned Deity of Creation, once per turn, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects while there is a card in the field zone. Now, once per turn, when you activate an Artmegia monster's effect, quick effect, you can make that effect become destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card literally becomes a nuke to your opponent's board. This card is a really strong boss monster because being a card that cannot be destroyed by card effects while there's a field zone is really good because it counteracts a lot of the issues that some boss monsters have, but allowing you to change any of your Artmegia monster's effects into just destroy all cards your opponent controls could be really devastating if it is timed perfectly. So now let's get into our main field spell of the deck, being Art Magia, the Academy of Divine Arts. Being a field spell, during your main phase you can normal summon one Medius the Innocent in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. You can discard one spell or trap card and declare the name of one Artmegia monster you do not control. Add one of the declared monsters from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from outside the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Artmegia monsters. And Medius the Innocent. You can only declare each card name once per turn to activate this effect of this card's name. So it looks like it is not once per turn because you could just declare as many times as you want, but I want to see the ruling on this to see how that goes. So it's going to be very interesting because you have to discard a card, declare an Artmegia monster that you do not control, so you can get another one, so you can continuously get your whole entire setup going. And it's definitely super xenophobic to what you could splash in with this deck. Now let's get into the spell cards of the deck. We have Thero Realize. It is a normal spell, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Send one Medius the Innocent from your deck to the graveyard. Look at the top cards of your opponent's decks and place it on either the top or the bottom of the deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster you control, and declare one monster type and one attribute. It becomes the declared type and attribute until the end of your opponent's turn. So honestly, this is really good because it allows you to adjust the types on your field so you can have multiple different types, so you can activate your requirements for all of your other cards. So overall, this is definitely a good card for the deck, and just being able to send a Medius the Innocent from your deck to the grave can help with some of your consistency plays that you definitely need to have for the deck. Now let's get into the magical quick play spell that this deck has, and honestly I really like the art of it. It is such a beautiful card. Being Artmegia Masterwork Succession, it's a quick play spell and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During the main phase, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including an Art Magia monster. Then, if there is a card in the field zone, the special summon monster gains 500 attack, and during your main phase, you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target 3 Artmegia cards in your graveyard with different names to shuffle them into the deck. Now, this is a good way to recycle your spells and trap cards, so this might be your 3 of, because it could allow you to actually summon out Guardian Chimera, which is a very, very prominent card that you can run in this deck. So that's one good thing to look out for, because you're allowed to use all this cool stuff. And also the new fusion that we got last night that takes a dragon and spellcaster, you can run this because you could just make one of your cards a spellcaster while you also have a dragon. So realistically, so far, this deck's pretty solid. And now let's get into this brand new continuous spell. It looks like AI versus art students. It is Artmegia Vandalism Assault. It's a continuous spell, and you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, and you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. When this card resolves, you can add one Medius the Innocent from your deck to your hand. You can target one face-up monster you control. That face-up monster can be treated as an Artmegia monster if used for a fusion material this turn, and if Artmegia, the Academy City of Divine Arts you control, would be destroyed by card effect, you can send this card you control to the graveyard instead. So literally a Fire King Sanctuary protecting your field spell. On top of that, being able just to add one Medius the Innocent from your deck is really strong, because that allows you to start your plays with him and just keep going on throughout the whole turn, and just being able to treat any monster you control as an Artmegia monster to help fulfill some conditions is really, really impactful, especially if you want to go up into your Divine Goddess. So overall, very strong continuous spell. And now finally for the last spell card in the deck, we're going to be looking at Artmegia Banish Change. It's a normal spell card, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Place one Artmegia, the Academy City of the Divine Arts, from your deck or graveyard face up in your field zone, or if you control it, add one Artmegia card from your deck to your hand. Instead, accept another copy of Banish Change. When your Artmegia monster is targeted for an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the attack, then you can special summon one Medius the Innocent from your hand. Very powerful normal spell, because it gets you your Academy as fast as possible, on top of just adding any Artmegia card from your deck to your hand. Now this card can be Ash Blossomed because it does have the you can add in the text, so you have to be very wary of that actual ruling right there. So finally, we're going to be looking at the trap card that the deck received, the only trap card, and I'm going to be so excited because I get to go to bed soon. We're going to be taking a look at Artmegia Messina, I believe that's how you say it, Awakening. It's a normal trap card, and you can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. Special summon one Artmegia monster or one Medius the Innocent from your deck. Also this turn, the activation of your cards and effects that include an effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a monster is fusion summoned this way. So literally just invocation. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Artmegia monster you control, return it to the hand in an extra deck, and if you do, destroy one card your opponent controls. Realistically, it's an alright trap card, but you're mostly going to be using it for the first effect because of how powerful it is. Just being able to summon out any Artmegia monster, your Medius the Innocent from your deck, and then you can just fusion summon using your quick play spell card later. But overall, I think the new Artmegia deck is going to be super prominent in the game because of how much fusion generic good stuff we already have. Also, with things like Dragontail being here, I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to see something like a Dragontail engine being played with this, or maybe something like the Canine engine, just to get more monsters on the board so you can fuse away. But overall, I definitely think that this stuff is going to be very useful in the future, but we'll have to see how things turn out when we get the first wave of support of this in Doom of Dimensions later this year. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the new Artmegia effect or deck in the comments below. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. I'll see you all in the next video, and goodbye.